Okay, we have some people joining us. Hello and welcome. I'm Sarah. I'm the nutritional therapist at Ocean Rock Wellness. This month I was actually supposed to teach a bunch of cooking classes and do some private cooking dinners. And because we're all working from home and we're in shelter in place, finding a new normal, everyone's finding a new normal. One of the best parts I have found is getting back in the kitchen. I think of the kitchen as a nutrition lab. It's a place where you can come, be creative, and optimize your well-being through focused nutrition. The food we eat can build us up or break us down. And so yesterday I did a basic green smoothie for breakfast because that was something that I had integrated into my world and had worked really well to support me throughout the day. Now, another area I find is salad dressings. So many of us buy salad dressings from the store. They're easy, you get to pick your flavor, and then we pour it onto our veg. And it's actually really easy to make one at home. When I look at salad dressings, some of the ingredients actually scare me. Clients will tell me that they have a dressing, and I look up the ingredients and I kind of cringe. And we don't know, it tastes delicious. Salad dressing made with probably, we think olive oil, but not really. It's often made with canola or refined soybean oil. And then it's got preservatives and quite a few, hey Beth, hey Jill, preservatives and a bit of sugar. So some ingredients that we can easily make at home. Now, it all requires pantry staples. If you've got an herb garden, great, or some herbs in the fridge. Today, I'm going to start with a basic lemony vinaigrette. Now, I either make it in a mason jar, an old almond butter or jam jar, and I just shake up the ingredients and pop that in the fridge or take it to work. That's super easy. Today, I'm going to mix it in kind of like a breakfast or mixing bowl, and then pour it into a jar. To start, let me grab a spoon. The other thing is that so many of us don't have the confidence in the kitchen or kind of the bandwidth to do it. And now working from home, we're probably making breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so it's a great opportunity to learn a few basic skills. And I think salad dressings are a great way to make an easy swap in your world. What did I want to talk about? So cooking from scratch is one way. The basic ingredients, and what I'm going to start with for this lemon vinaigrette, is I've got some olive oil here. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup olive oil. And I kind of think of a 1/4 cup olive oil. This salad dressing will make about 4 to 6 servings. Next, I've got apple cider vinegar. You could use red wine vinegar, any vinegar. I like apple cider vinegar because I always have it in the kitchen. I like that it's already got some probiotics, so it's like a raw vinegar. It's got great gut probiotics. And I'm gonna do 3 tablespoons. I eyeball everything. You could easily measure. Less dishes though. Next, I put about a tablespoon of sweetness in. I have got some honey from passion fields, but you could use maple syrup or agave. If you are following a SIBO diet, which many of our clients are, then honey is the best option. So I'm going to do about a tablespoon. Now, salad dressings and vinaigrettes, I think they taste like liquid gold. I could drink them off a spoon. And the flavor notes that we want to hit, we want to have a source of fat. So extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil are great here. So olive oil, you want to have a sweet, so honey, a salt. I either use capers or I always do some sort of sea salt. Any sea salt works. An acid, so apple cider vinegar, and so fat, sweet, salt, and acid. Those are the kind of what I feel are the basic notes you hit, and it kind of is really satisfying. Then the extra nutrients that we can use, and it depends kind of whether you're going for a flavor or if you're looking to support a certain system. So from that, you can add herbs. So I've got fresh herbs, very rich in antioxidants. I've got some rosemary as well. You could use dried herbs, you could use spices, so cumin seed or ground cumin, some turmeric if you're looking for some anti-inflammatory properties. So you can really tailor this depending on your taste buds. My favorite part of a vinaigrette and why I love this one the most is using zest. So if in Bermuda, I know a lot of people do have citrus trees, but orange zest, lemon zest, or lime zest are delicious. If you're going to use the zest, I try to buy a few lemons or limes a week that are organic, and I used that so that I'm not kind of zesting pesticides, which would have been sprayed on normal lemons. So I have got, so far, 1/4 cup olive oil, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of honey. Now I'm going to pop in about a teaspoon of sea salt. Now that might seem like quite a bit, but remember this is going to serve quite a few servings for salad or to marinate lentils or rice. So this would be great kind of if you wanted to do like a 3-bean salad, you could use this as the vinaigrette, or a rice if you wanted to put a vinaigrette over rice. And we probably are all relying on sort of legumes and some rice and beans right now. It would also be great as a marinade for poultry, fish. So salt, I'm going to put in some fresh pepper. So this is my base, and this would easily be absolutely delicious and really health supportive. So I've got extra virgin olive oil, apple cider vinegar, raw honey, salt, pepper. Next, I'm going to add in, because I want this to be a lemony, citrusy, uplifting spring vinaigrette, which I'll put over rice later, is I'm going to do lemon juice. I'm going to put 1 whole lemon. Now, normally I have a lemon press. I think it's a great investment. I don't right now, so I've got very clean hands. And what I do is I squeeze the lemon, and with my other hand, I'm letting the juice through, but I'm catching the seeds. The worst thing is seeds. So I've caught a few seeds in my hand, and I'm putting 1 whole lemon. So this is going to be really citrusy, which is delicious in the spring. Just going to rinse my hands. Okay. Next, I'm going to zest. Now, my best investment in the kitchen, my recommendation would be a microplane. I got mine at Chef Shop on Parleville. It cost about $10. I use it at least once a day. I use it with ginger. I use it to make ginger tea or to mince ginger. I use it to mince garlic. I use it for zest, and I use it for like a Parmesan or a Pecorino. I think it's amazing. So I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon. Hey Corlita, absolutely, Himalayan salt would be great. Any sea salt really is great, whether it's Celtic, whether it's Himalayan. Often sea salts are named from the sea they come from, and they'll have different trace minerals, but they're all great. Okay, now one of my favorite additions is capers. I love capers, but I'm not going to add them today, but that's an option. And it's one that I often do with this. The other thing that you could do with vinaigrettes is we're all relying on, I think, some canned tuna or salmon, kind of canned fish. Instead of making a mayonnaise-based tuna salad, throwing in flaked tuna or flaked salmon from a can into a vinaigrette with this with some greens would be delicious as well. Hello, I am making a salad dressing. So we're going to make 2 salad dressings today, and starting with a lemon vinaigrette. So for anyone who's just joined, I have got extra virgin olive oil, 1/4 cup, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 lemon zest and juice, sea salt, pepper, and a bit of honey. Honey is SIBO friendly as the sweetener, but you could use maple syrup, you could use agave. I love honey. Okay, so that is really the base. And for anyone else who's joining, I was saying the main components of, I think, a liquid gold salad dressing is fat, sweet, salt, acid, and then you add in the extra, so the functional items. So that would be zest, it would be herbs, fresh herbs from your garden, dried herbs, it could be spices, which have lots of anti-inflammatory properties like turmeric, cumin. So this is what I'm working with right now. It looks like liquid gold as well. You could also add, which is delicious, garlic, some local garlic here. You could add red onion. That makes it delicious. If you're following SIBO, I would add green onions instead. Now, what I've picked up from the garden is a few pieces of basil, cilantro, parsley, thyme, and rosemary. So I'm just going to do a bit of a medley. And so, salad dressings. So we're swapping out, easy swap, 5 minutes. Swapping out preservatives, excess sugar, some other questionable ingredients, and refined oils. Now, whether the clients we're working with are looking at have an autoimmune condition, whether they're looking for fertility support, weight management, swapping out oils, refined oils, for really healthy monosaturated and omega-3s is one of the best things you can do for your health. Many nutrients are also fat soluble. What that means is that they need a small source of fat for your body to be able to absorb. So let's take vitamin A, for example, it's fat soluble. So sweet potatoes, a bit of chimichurri or tahini dressing over sweet potatoes, or a bit of olive oil over sweet potatoes will help the nutrients, that help the vitamin A get absorbed and utilized by the body. So adding sauces and vinaigrettes to vegetables with really health promoting ingredients helps us absorb the nutrients and helps them taste delicious. Okay, so this is my base. It is absolutely delicious. What I'll do is on our Facebook page, I'll post the recipe of this and some pics of it. But this is a basic lemon vinaigrette. I would use this over maybe a black rice salad. I would make a 3-bean salad. I would put it over greens. I would toss it with flaked tuna and add it to some greens. Really versatile. Now, what you're gonna find is if you make this and pop it in your fridge, the olive oil is gonna solidify a bit, and I'll show you an example. I make a few different ones, because in this house, vegetables apparently have to get served with some sort of sauce. So I've got a bunch of different vinaigrettes, chimichurris, and sauces in the fridge to serve vegetables with. But you'll see that that yellow lining, that is olive oil that's solidified. And what I do is I just take it out and put it on the counter for a few minutes before I use it, and then pop it back in the fridge. Okay? Next up, we are going to, hello, Catherine. Next up, I'm going to make a tahini dressing. So what I will do with this is I stirred it, but otherwise I could have done it right into a mason jar, jam jar, or maybe a peanut butter jar, put a lid on it, do a really good shake, and you're done. That's one swap you could do to optimize your well-being. No matter what your health goal is, we always, and with clients, many of them come to me and come to the doctors, and we often try to encourage them to get into the kitchen. Getting into the kitchen is one of the best ways to optimize your health. You cut out questionable ingredients and you start to be able to focus nutrients as well, based on what your specific needs are, what imbalances you're working with. So salad dressings is a great start. I have a few in the kitchen. Now, when I'm making a tahini dressing, for anyone who doesn't know, tahini is ground sesame seeds. So I think of it as, thanks for the love, Paula. I think of tahini dressing as, that's probably John, as, it's like peanut butter but made from sesame seeds, and it's got a tiny bit of a bitter taste to it, but it's creamy and it's delicious, and it's great if you're looking for a dairy-free or egg-free creamy consistency sauce. I always buy a tahini that is from the kind of ethnic food section. So tahini is used in a lot of Middle Eastern dishes. So that's often where I'll get the tahini. I find that the tahini that I find next to the peanut butter or almond butter section isn't as creamy, and it's a bit more bitter and not as easy to work with for a salad dressing. So my top tip for this would be get a really good kind of ethnic tahini. This one is going to be quite creamy and thick and delicious. So tahini also, what you're going to find is it is going to be sort of difficult to stir with other ingredients. So you want to start with tahini, and then I always start with honey, and you incorporate each ingredient kind of slowly, or else it can curdle. And that's only because with things like almond butter, peanut butter, and tahini, how do you cut the bitter taste in tahini? Well, it's only slightly bitter, and you use other ingredients like honey and bit of sweetener. But it's only because it's hydro something. Anyways, it repels kind of liquid and water. So you want to slowly incorporate each ingredient to help it get a really smooth texture. So this tahini dressing, I'm doing 2 tablespoons tahini. Then I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of sweetener. And I'm going to stir that in. Some dressings I would put all the ingredients and then stir, but with tahini it's important to slowly add in the ingredients. And what you'll find is it thickens a bit, like this one has, but we can slowly add in some water and thin it out. Tahini is also a great source of calcium. It's a great source of plant protein. So if you had a salad with maybe just some black beans and veg, adding a source of protein will boost that kind of plant protein content, and as well as the healthy fats and minerals that you're getting. Seeds are really rich in minerals. So if you've kind of taken dairy out of your diet, and you're worried about your kind of calcium, you don't need to be, because you can get it from lots of plant-based sources. Tahini is one of those. So this, look, I'll show you what I'd like to show you, is it has taken on like a thick peanut butter texture, and that's just from stirring in. So now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go with another lemon kind of base. So I'm going to zest in. Hey, Jeff and Jill. I'm going to zest in a lemon. And so we've got, from a nutrient perspective, we've got lots of calcium, we've got some healthy fats, we've got plant protein, we're getting some vitamin C from lemons, and the zest is also really rich in vitamin C. I'm squeezing in because I don't have a peeler. I'm going to add in some sea salt, so we're getting lots of trace minerals. I'm going to add in some herbs for some antioxidants. Has anyone tried a tahini dressing? Or knows what tahini is? Seen it on a menu before? Okay, so this got quite thick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some olive oil to kind of lubricate it down. So, yes, you have. I wish I could show you in person. So I've got 2 tablespoons of tahini. I've got 1 tablespoon of sweetener, honey. I've got 1 lemon, I've got lemon zest, and I've got a tablespoon of olive oil. And this is a great, creamy, thick dressing. You could put it over any salad. You could use it as a dip. So some people don't find hummus can bloat them a lot, but they're looking for kind of like an afternoon kind of dip to dip things in. A tahini dressing would be a great dip for carrot, crackers, cucumber, to pour over roasted veggies. Oh yes, my recipe. Okay, I love this over roasted cauliflower. I love the lemon in it as well. And then next up, I'm going to add a bit of apple cider vinegar. That's just a personal preference. A bit of sea salt. It's got a very deep, rich flavor. It's a little bitter, so we sweeten it out a bit. Now, doesn't look absolutely glorious, but it tastes fantastic. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water. Okay, so thank you for joining my cooking tutorial. As I finished stirring this, I wanted to talk through the final points. So, when it comes to cooking at home, we're all forced, in Bermuda at least, but we've got some overseas guests. Yes, you can see it, one moment. We've got some overseas guests. Cooking from scratch, because we've all got a new normal and restaurants are closed. One of the best ways to elevate your health is to make simple swaps. I love swapping a salad dressing bought from the store with a homemade one. And the reason is a salad dressing from the store, most brands you'll see on the supermarket store shelves uses canola or refined soybean oil or another refined vegetable oil as the base. And so when we're lubricating our food in an oil to help the nutrients absorb, we want to do it in a really nutrient-dense oil. So combining fat, sweet, salt, and acid creates something that tastes like liquid gold. And then we get to personalize it to boost it up. So do we want to boost it with herbs, spices, citrus? Do you want cumin-y kind of flavors? Do you want citrus flavors? You get to use the base and then evolve it to whatever you want to cook with. Lots of nutrients are fat soluble, so using lots of fats helps the nutrients get absorbed. An example is I love roasted sweet potatoes, but I douse it in a chimichurri or like an herby vinaigrette. And that's because to get that vitamin A, I need a source of fat. So we're kind of taught to reduce our fats, but having great quality fats. It's not the quantity, it's the quality of the fat that's important. So I'm going to continue stirring this, and then I'm going to post some pics and the recipe on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow I am going to do a massaged kale salad. The reason is that kale right now is a great, ooh, yum. We need things that store well. Many of us have been limited to go to grocery stores once a week, and we don't have access to restaurants. Kale holds up in the fridge really well. As my mum says though, it fights back. One of the ways you can do that is start to massage it with a really good dressing and break down the walls. So tomorrow I'm going to teach you a marinated kale salad recipe, because if you kind of pick up a bunch of kale, it could last in the fridge for 7 to 10 days, whereas other greens start to wilt really quickly. So it's really versatile, it's great under the circumstances, and that will be tomorrow, and I'll probably use one of these vinaigrettes. If you have any questions, please send us a message. And join throughout the week. We'll be doing different recipes. If you've got something you would like us to make, let us know. We can make it happen. Okay, have a great day.